is the Speaker Knockers.
Boonch Montana, Boonch Montana, Boonch Montana. First time on the track, but I'll push you back.
Yes.
Yes.
Look at us. Look at us. This is so dumb. Tell the people what's going on, because people
We
at
didn't
people
plan it.
people at home don't know, right?
People at home in their ears.
Yeah,
We're
people.
both,
Yeah,
we're both sporting. I think we could call them light mustaches.
very
this week.
very much
Yeah.
light mustache.
Yeah.
It's not a statement
No,
at all.
no,
Yeah.
no. It's someone could have drawn them on us with a light graphite pencil, perhaps. But it was completely unplanned. We did not know.
Completely unplanned.
Yeah.
No idea. Man, I almost urinated in my big diaper after seeing that on your face. I was like, uh-oh, bathroom time. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Is Chance doing it?
Start to this episode. What?
Oh, quick question. So I asked if Chance is doing it. I don't think he is. Is he?
What are we talking about?
Chance, whether Chance has a mustache.
Oh, he's had like a full beard for years. Probably not years.
A yes would have sufficed.
Yeah.
But, oh man.
No, he's a hairy boy.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
I can't believe I assumed otherwise.
There's not a chance he's not covered in hair.
I'm sure he's not happy with all the jokes about that.
He doesn't know, so I don't care.
Yeah.
They are objectively hilarious, so.
Good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot it. But yeah, here we are.
Story of the Boonch Boys.
So yeah, what was your reasoning? Because I'll explain my reasoning.
No, again, I was shaving a few days ago, and I actually think I'm going to shave again today, because like it's starting to get to the point where the mustache isn't great, and the rest of my facial hair is like a little bit, so it just looks like I did shave, and then the lip hair grew faster.
So much faster.
Yeah. So I need to fix that. But no, I was shaving, and I didn't do this part, and then I was like, I'm busy. I don't have time to shave that part. So I just.
It's so packed.
Yeah.
You don't have 30 seconds. Yeah. There's not even 15 seconds of leeway in your
I have
schedule.
this planned down to the.
You're like a senator.
Yeah, this was not on the docket for today.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. What about you?
I wouldn't say. Yeah, I think I said before that this was more I just left it, but it's not that it's just I can experiment now, because usually I want to be presentable, and I don't care enough about my looks to like change it in a certain way that I think is correct. You know what I mean? Like I'm never like, okay, this is the style I want, let's go for that, let's do this clothes. It's like whatever happens, clean H2O, some cargo shorts, like whatever.
It's the classic look.
And so usually I defer style choices to Amelia, because she has much more stylistic choices. But she ain't here. She can't. Can't.
When the Amelia's out, the what is the phrase? I don't know.
The boys.
What is it?
The boys.
No. It's
when Amelia's in London, the boys.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, the whole thing. No, it's like when the wives are out, the boys.
The cats play. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's something with cats. I don't know.
Yeah.
The cool cats jam.
That's what it is. Yeah.
The cool cats saunter.
When their wives are in London, the cool cats jam.
God, that sounds like a great painting.
Sounds like a good title for a movie, for a short film.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds
a
like
really long title.
it sounds like a very experimental play
Yes.
in Brooklyn, and off Broadway.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's I've experimented with facial hair in the past. It hasn't really worked. It's always just like 4 days, shave it off, 4 days, shave it off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been seeing recently that it's somewhat making a comeback. I think the beginning of that, here, let me here, I want to show you this later, Kung Fu Chess. We'll get to that in a second, but Dacre
That's very
Montgomery.
interesting. Oh yeah, he's quite attractive.
Like this sort of style from the
Yeah.
80s, I feel like is coming back, especially I don't know if you know this
Wow, that's so many letters. What's happening?
Max Taylor Lifts.
Oh goodness. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, he's huge. He just has a TikTok. And so it's like a thing. I don't know. Like the mustache and the crazy almost mullet, like the 80s type of style is bringing it back, and you can see that I'm clearly 80s. I'm like
Yeah, nothing says 80s like you.
like me. Nobody says the word 80s like me. So yeah, I was just like, why not experiment with it? If people like it, they like it. I'll note that, and then maybe next week we'll do the Lennon,
there
the
you go.
goatee,
Yeah.
and then after that, just mutton chops.
you just do all sections independently.
Yeah, all combinations of all sections. So
Right.
yeah, week 16 is just going to be this sideburn and this half of my mustache.
You just label the different sections. All right.
Yeah,
It's
A4
1 and 4 today.
Yeah.
Just doing.
Yeah, like you're
Yeah.
putting it together a Ken Barbie doll. Ken, I don't know. The facial hair
No,
wasn't
that's
one of the things that you could do.
They
It was
didn't have,
just
like,
clothes.
attachable beard to Ken.
Damn, that would have we should have been there in
Come
the
on,
80s.
Mattel.
Yeah, we could have made it big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing which is nice is I think this is the best time to experiment with small amounts of facial hair, because I was certainly self-conscious doing it, because I've never done this before, and I'm like, does this look horrible?
Mhm.
And it doesn't look great yet, but I wear a mask, so then I don't have to worry, that's the whole thing. So then it's really just for me and Carl. He's the only other one who gets to see it. And now you. So
I'm imagining you walking into the living room and Carl's there and he's like, "Is this for me? Because I don't like it." Carl quote, "Is this for me?"
Goodness. Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Nothing. One inconvenience that you've sort of seen, my sort of sippy straw, it broke because whenever I would tip it, it would like a ton of water would come out. It's not like little
Right,
drips.
a
It's
full
just
gallon.
yeah. All of the gallon came out immediately at once. Like it wasn't even going through any sort of opening. It just appeared outside.
Just right there.
It was very confusing. No, so yeah, now I have to do. It's just a hole.
Oh, that's yeah.
So it's let's how you say less convenient. So
That's maybe it's another benefit. It's more lifting, more upper body strength.
Yeah, if anything, it's more heavy during the day because the water goes down. But I don't know. I've noticed this about myself. Late afternoon slumps, the best way to sort of get rid of that for me is like light exercise, maybe a 7-minute workout, do some core strength, So if this was a little bit more heavy at the end of the day, I'd be like, we're moving now.
Whoa, ho.
1 gallon. Yeah, it's my water bottle's the Benjamin Button of water bottles. As I drink throughout the day, it goes from empty to full.
The Benjamin Button of water. That's so good.
Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
I don't think anyone has.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually a movie. People just have come up with
Because
it.
I heard it was bad. You know,
Oh, really?
like why would I watch it when the concept is much funnier?
Was that
Brad
no,
Pitt.
that wasn't Johnny Depp, right?
I think it was Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. I think I'm thinking of Who's Eating Gilbert Grape. What eating
Mm.
Gilbert Grape?
Who's
Who's eating? It's still a weird name for a movie.
When is eating Gilbert Grape?
Why is someone eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah, who's eating Gilbert Grape? And it's Benjamin Button. The ultimate crossover.
Yeah, Benjamin Button, as he's getting younger, is also eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's good stuff.
How are you?
Quite good. No, I'm good. I like really hurt my back this morning. I have a
Oh, geez. Story. We want the whole story.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was running. I ran. It was great. There was a little chill in the air this morning, which I was a big fan of. And I got back and took my shower. And then I sat down on my computer, and like half an hour later, I realized my entire back was hurting. So that was annoying, and I really don't know what happened. Has that ever happened to you? Has this ever happened to you? Your back?
I don't know.
Has that
I think it might have, but I find it's always because I'm sitting for a long period of time.
Probably also a problem.
And yeah, it's usually because my posture is like this when I do things. So like, I've been making a conscious effort to like, and yeah, I stretch a good amount of time every day, so that usually doesn't happen to me. But
yeah, that is okay. That's an interesting thing. You're talking about posture. Alex, I have excuse me. I remember Alex talking about this as well. That like it's like the top half of his torso just goes in like that. Like he just sort of sits like that. And I feel like there's like, I don't know anybody that like naturally has good posture. What's the deal with that? Why haven't we just evolved to make that more normal if that's going to make us healthier?
Well, I mean, humans haven't been sitting for prolonged periods of time until like the last 300, 400 years. You know, most of us were peasants for long periods of time, and when we were resting, we were probably just like sleeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting.
And like, yeah, I think, I don't know. I think the ground is the only, like, if we didn't have chairs, right, where would we sit? We would sit on the ground. Yes. The ground is apparently really good for posture. So are stools, because there's like no back support, and it's like, it's harder to slouch. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can still do it.
Test me.
I can slouch with the best of them.
Can you slouch in this chair? It's the new show hosted by Wayne Brady.
Yeah, slouch again, Henry. Yeah, but no, I don't know. I mean, my entire body. Whew,
oh man!
Don't get me started.
Take that one to the shop.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fixer-upper. But no, like I can't sit well like ever anymore. It's not like, especially on the ground. Like I cannot like sit cross-legged on the ground without some sort of like back support, and also my legs immediately start hurting whenever I do that. So like it's all bad. And also like one of my toes is messed up. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, not related, right?
Right. Yeah, not part of this. But
my back was so tense that it made my toe just leave. I have 4 toes on one of my feet.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was just like
how much do you stretch?
Where?
Anywhere. Do you stretch at all?
I stretch my legs. I stretch quads, hamstrings, calves, like before and after running. And then I was talking to my parents right before this, and my mom was like, "Did you stretch other places?" And I was like, "I'm not running with my back, Mom."
Yeah, I'm not two-handed like upside down.
I'm not some sort of bear, Mom. So yeah, but is that a thing? Like, you need to like. I guess now that I think about it, I do. I have seen people like stretch their shoulders before they run. Is that a thing that you need to do? Do you like where do you stretch?
Yeah, I would say only half of my stretches are for my legs, even though
Interesting.
almost 90% of the exercise I do is running.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I do this 8-minute neck stretch routine twice a day, which is
Woo.
like a minute of this, a minute of this, a minute of this, a minute of this, a
Mm.
minute of this, arm stretched out, same thing on the other side. And then opposite hand, you put this under your behind, and then you pull the opposite way. That's
Oh
like
wow.
really good for back here. And then
Yeah.
again here,
That's
right
like
there.
all the way down. You're getting it.
So yeah, that's really good for like this whole area. And then the other like more back thing that I do is like I just go like this.
Oh, that's fun. I like doing that.
And like usually that's to like stretch your legs, like stretch your hamstrings.
Right,
But
right.
I like try to make it so that it's like stretching and elongating my
That's the cat pose in yoga, I believe. Of my limited knowledge of yoga,
Mhm.
you go from cow, which is I can't do it because
Do
I'm
it.
not gonna like
Just do
get
it.
on all fours in front of this camera on my desk.
A swoosh comes by. Do it.
No, but it's like like if your back is like normally like this,
Mhm.
cow stretch is like you do like that,
Mhm.
and
Oh, I
then
hate that.
no, it's good. Like it like stretches your abs a little bit,
Mm-mm.
right? I don't know, maybe.
Mm-mm.
Who cares?
Mm-mm.
But then cat stretch is like, or cat pose is like that, and you're stretching out your back.
Oh, I see where that comes
Yeah,
from because I've seen
cats.
cats do that.
You're
Yeah,
like, "Mm, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you get it.
Wouldn't that make sense for that to be the cow pose? Because aren't cows always like this? I guess cats
I
are
thought
too.
cows were just like they're. I think they're straight. I thought cows were.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I
I
don't
would
know much about
I
cows.
would recommend stretching and hot pat and like a bath, just like
I'm
a
not gonna take
nice.
a bath.
It's soothing. Why not? Put a
I
little
don't. It's
lavender.
not big enough.
Take a bath.
Do it. Take a bath. Then.
You get to your bath. There's a guy there with a gun.
Yeah, it's Wayne Brady. He's so angry. Um,
He's like slouching, right?
Slouch. Yeah. No, it's not big enough in my bathroom.
Hmm.
I've tried to take a bath,
Mhm.
not in that bathroom, in other baths, and then it's not good.
Mhm.
I get stuck. I mean, I don't get stuck, but you know what I mean. Like it's not. I need a long.
Wasn't there a president that happened to?
Taft?
Didn't he? Yeah, he got stuck in a bath.
I think that's the thing, right?
The Taft bath.
That. Yeah, no, I feel like that could be one of those rumors where everybody was just like, he was fat, so we're gonna make up
Yeah.
a story. He
Yeah.
got stuck in a bath. Ha ha! Gotcha,
Aha!
Mr. President.
God, I love dissent. Yeah, but I would recommend stretching
That'd probably
because
be good.
I don't like I'm not like I gotta focus on the stretch. You know, like I have something on. It's like something to break up the monotony of the day. Something's on the computer. I'm watching it. I'm stretching. It feels good. You know.
Yeah,
So
that's good. I have two things. First is
Mhm.
I used to do more stretching when I was still playing trumpet. I had a whole like before I started practicing in the morning, I had a whole stretching routine because it was all about like loosening up your body so you can get maximum resonance. And then my question though, because you're talking about the neck stretch that you do when you're
Mhm.
going back like that. I've heard bad things. Have you heard bad things about that? Is that
yeah,
okay?
I try not to go back like this. I try
Yeah.
to like extend it so that I'm only feeling it here. But it's like
Feeling it where? Sorry, let me look again.
like the front
Oh, like
part.
there. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's probably not ideal, but I
Eh.
mean, I I'm a sucker for balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is the thing. I hate doing when people do like neck rolls and you do like and then just have to go like the side, you know, and
Mhm.
I want to go all the way around. Don't tell me to skip north or whatever or south, whichever side that is.
That would have been very impressive if that was Are you good with your cardinal directions?
No, I'm not good with normal directions, let alone knowing which
Yeah.
way is north.
Left
I
and
don't,
right,
yeah,
maybe.
I'm still
North,
not
south.
great about continuing straight if there's another option to go left. I really don't. It's, when like you're driving and
Hmm.
it's like continue straight, and there's like one that goes like
Yeah,
to
slightly
the
to the
left.
left, but then
You're
one
like,
that
is
is
that
straight.
straight or
Yeah.
is this straight? I don't know which way is straight, is the point.
Oh, that is classic. I've totally been in that situation.
Yeah.
But there's languages. I watched this TED talk about how language shapes the way we think.
Mm.
There's a language um, that I think what's the indigenous group in Australia called? The Aborigines? Is that
Yeah, I mean that's just a normal. That's like a larger name for indigenous peoples, isn't it?
I thought it was
Aborigines.
a specific group in Australia, but I
I
think
don't know.
they're in Australia, and the way that their language works is that almost everything is based around cardinal directions of north,
Mm.
south, east, and west. So whenever you say hi, you don't say hi, you say where are you headed, and then you have to respond with your cardinal direction of where you're going.
Oh my gosh.
And then instead of saying like you're like your left up or something
Right.
thing, you would say like northeast or whatever, your
Wow.
northeast tooth or something like that.
That's really cool.
So they always know exactly what the cardinal directions are at all times.
That is such a gift. Like I know I wouldn't like use it all the time, but when we hear about people who just like always know which way is north, I think that's the coolest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunately obsolete because it's like why would you learn that when you can misunderstand Google Maps about which
Yeah, when I can get lost instead.
Yeah. With amazing technology.
Right, exactly. Why, yeah, I can get four compasses and still get lost. So try again,
God,
Australians.
that's one of the things that I think is going to be a very good pleasure in adult life. Wherever you end up spending a good amount of time, understanding the location, I think is going to be very fun.
Yeah.
Like studying it and knowing that this is over here, this is over here, these streets go like this, and then
Yeah.
north and south, and yeah, San
North-
Francisco if you live in San Francisco.
Yeah. That's I mean definitely something like do you have this experience with your parents? Because I've always been impressed with like how well my parents know where stuff is,
Hmm.
especially in DC. I think that's like I still have such a hard idea. Like I have no idea where
No
what
idea.
DC is.
Yeah.
Like I'm so confused.
Where does it start? Where does it
Yeah.
stop?
Yeah. And
Am I
and
DC? Like,
right, yeah, exactly. And is it like when they talk about like Adams Morgan? What?
I have
Do you
no
know
idea what
about
that
that?
is. No,
That's apparently like a thing in DC. Like that's an area in DC.
it's an area. It's a whole area.
Yeah,
Oh man,
it's like a whole
it sounds like
district or whatever
one
it is.
guy.
Yeah. It sounds like
No, it
a
sounds
guy-
like a guy who is
Yeah.
owned by another guy. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say it sounds like it's on like an attendance list and it's his last name first.
Mm.
Like his name is Morgan Adams.
Oh, there we go. That's a good name, Morgan Adams.
That's a strong name. Yeah.
I don't know where it is, but
Right. Yeah. And even like Georgetown or just like anything in DC.
yeah, Georgetown, no
Yeah,
idea.
nothing. Yeah.
And yeah, and Arlington, Loudon, like
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's
No,
it's hard.
absolutely. Like I know the places that I go to like regularly throughout the week, and that's it.
It's like that. Have you seen Robots, that Pixar movie?
Oh, I thought you just meant have you seen
Yeah,
Robots?
have you heard they're coming for our jobs?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just like I'll show you the there it is. No, Robots movie. This one.
Oh, yeah, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
I've
So
seen that face before.
there's a scene where this red robot here, they're like going around the city, and The red robot is showing around the blue robot, and he's like, "Man, you're in good, capable hands. I know this city like the back of my hand." Oh, that's new. And then he gets hit by a hammer, and he just goes flying.
That's great.
It's pretty classic.
It's good stuff.
So yes, can I show you the one thing that is new that I just discovered like 20 minutes ago?
Chess?
Yes, this is it. No. So you know regular chess, right?
I do.
So Kung Fu chess is chess where there are no turns. Basically, you can move pieces at any time, but after you move a piece, there's only a certain you can't move it for a certain amount of time. So I'm just gonna play a game against this novice AI.
This is crazy.
And so it just things happen. Oh man. I'm brand new to this, so I'm very bad at this. Oh no.
This is so crazy.
It's really bad. This doesn't make good content, does it? This does not good content make. But yeah,
Aristotle thing?
I don't know. I really like that way of organizing a sentence. Does not good content make or whatever.
Yeah. Oh
Just,
my gosh.
Yeah. And so instead of the point of normal chess is to make it so that the opponent's king can't move anywhere. But here, your goal is to capture the king. And so,
before they realize.
Yeah, and
wow.
And there's been times where I've moved a piece, and like right before it's about to get there, right, like it goes almost the entire diagonal, and then right before it moves just a little bit, and then it goes out.
Oh my gosh!
So it's just an interesting thing for people who are too good at chess. They're like, you know what? I wish this was more confusing and more.
Yeah. I wish there were more moving pieces. That's no. I mean, that's amazing. First of all, like I don't know how you do that. But it's also, I know it says in the point, but it's really pretty. If I could just say that, like just all that sort of synchronous movement is really.
It's like cool. Nature.
Yeah. That is
there are why don't I also so that's just one of the variants of chess.
Is there
and that's
speed kung fu chess where it's like everybody's
look, this we can do lightning, which is much less time for each move.
Oh my god, this is terrifying.
And so you can just this is a lot faster, I guess.
Wow. This is like
he lost.
Oh, nice. That's just like anxiety.
It's so anxiety. Yeah.
Like that's so. I'm like legitimately tense right now.
Yeah, it's really bad. Wow. But not only is there that, but there's all these other different versions. So I don't even know what Crazy House or Chess 960 is. Okay, so let's read the descriptions. So Crazy House's captured pieces can be dropped back on the board instead of moving a piece. That's interesting. So if you like take a knight from them, you can put that on your piece of your side of the board.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
So, and then Chess 960 is starting position of the home rank pieces is randomized. So the back rank, like the king and the rook and all of those, those are king of the hill is the 4 squares in the center. If you get your king to the center, you win. And I think for most of these, checkmate is also considered a win condition, as opposed to Kung Fu chess where you got to capture. 3 check is if you check your opponent 3 times, you win. I think the most interesting is anti-chess, which is lose all your pieces or get stalemated to win the game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I remember this being kind of an interesting week of my life where I was like doing anti-chess a little bit. But yeah, the point is to so you lose all your pieces because part of the rules is that if you can capture an opponent's piece, you have to. And so
Mm.
what you do is you like try to move pieces into the line of your enemy, and then they have to take it on their next move, and then you keep moving pieces into the it's almost like yeah,
Wow,
it's crazy.
that's amazing.
Atomic is when you take
Nuclear
something.
opponents.
Yeah.
Nuclear opponents king. Okay.
Yeah, it's modern chess.
Yeah.
It's drone chess. No, you whenever you take a piece, there's an explosion in a 3x3 radius around that, and it captures everything in there. So
Oh my
each
gosh.
it's like landmines almost. And then racing kings, I don't know what this is. Race your king to the 8th rank to win. Okay, from position is just whatever you want to. And then my favorite is horde. I'll just show you this. Let's play. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, what?
so you have a normal set,
Oh my
and
God.
you're playing against,
What the hell?
I guess, 36 pawns.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, this
That's
one's also
so
very,
crazy.
yeah. It's very interesting the world of chess. Like chess is already one of the most complicated games ever created. The number of
Yeah.
chess games possible is more than the atoms in the universe.
Right.
And so the fact that there are different variants of chess is just very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That's amazing. The horde, that screen reminded me of and this is so stupid, but it reminded me of the that Wii bowling thing where it's like
Oh,
100
yeah.
pins. That's absolutely what that reminded me of.
Do you
And
remember the cheat on that level?
I didn't know there was one. I didn't
So
know
on
you could
once you
choose.
get to the 100 pins, you can. So there are rails, right?
Yeah.
What you can do is you can, instead of bowling at the pins, you can go all the way to the right and try to ride your bowling ball on the rail until it hits this red light at the end. So if it doesn't get off of the line of the barrier and it hits the red light, all of the pins fall. Have you seen that?
No.
All right, let me look that up
This
because
is the new Boonch Boys thing.
Wii bowling 100
People-
pins cheat.
Oh my God.
So yeah, this is oh, classic.
Oh man, I have not looked at this stuff in a while.
God, what an aspect ratio.
That entire thing is so crazy. Wow. All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks.
I'm
Except,
surprised you didn't know that.
no,
I hate
I like
you.
to play by the rules.
Yeah.
That's wow.
It's not interesting. Or
That's all right.
fun.
You know,
it's
I'm
all right.
learning
Yeah.
things, yeah.
It's if you had to rank that on a scale of 1 to 10, interesting fact, what would you rate it?
You know, like a 4.
That would be a fun competition. Who can come up with the most interesting fact?
Oh my God.
We should plan that.
Who can come up with that?
Yeah,
Sounds
who can make up the most interesting fake fact?
Yeah, who can make it a fact? That's
Yeah, who can make up but then also make true the
right.
most interesting fact?
That'd be good. The other thing I was going to say, I had this joke about 5 minutes ago,
Mhm.
was that I think I could win in anti-chess if the other person thought we were playing normal chess.
Yeah.
Woo! All right.
So I'm
Self-deprecation
apparently the
out of
number
the
one in
way.
the world at anti-chess, which means you lose by getting all your pieces captured. I thought I was playing chess.
Ah,
Ah,
ah.
so good.
Anyway, Well, that's interesting. How did you come about? How did what am I trying to say? How did you
When I was a little boy. No, when how did I come about? How did I find Kung Fu
yeah,
chess?
how did you find Kung Fu chess?
Chess streamers or chess YouTubers. I follow
Okay.
a couple that are interesting, nice,
That's
subdued young people.
yeah, that's probably one of the more calming sides of streaming services.
I mean,
Maybe.
have you seen a bullet chess game?
No.
Do
Is
you know
that
what bullet chess is?
fast?
So yeah, so normal chess has usually in competitive settings it has time controls, which means only a certain amount of time per side
Right.
is allowed to play. And usually with classical, it's very long. It's like 60 minutes for per side or something like that. But then there's rapid, which is like 10 to 15 minutes per side.
Okay.
Blitz is like 3 to 5 minutes per side, and then bullet is a minute per side usually. A minute to 2 minutes.
That's so crazy.
Let me just show you one streamer, Hikaru Nakamura, one of the greatest chess players in the world.
Wow, yeah.
I don't want to get sued by the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, that'd probably be bad.
So yeah, let's see. So yeah, he's is he playing right now? Oh yeah. So his opponent is like running out the clock here. Let me skip ahead. Let me find one where he's playing much quicker.
Jeez.
So he's just pre-moving. He's doing a bunch of stuff. And then not only is there this, but there's even faster chess called ultra bullet chess.
Oh my god. What is that, like 30 seconds?
Yeah. Ultra hyper bullet.
Hyperbole. That's so crazy.
It's so bad.
That's so oh my god. That's so crazy.
Like
Is that
this
like
this is intense. Like this is like much worse than other, because the thing is chess is already so complex, right? And when you have to think that quickly, like that's more intense than playing a video game, because in a video game it's not like you're grappling with 100 different possible moves in any second. Usually you're just like trying to survive whatever the game is, right?
Yeah.
So
that's so like I mean, because what am I thinking? Is it like a thing where when you're I mean, I don't know if you know, but like when you're playing that fast, is it a thing where because people are able to do pre-moves, like you said, like is it a thing where you do have to think about multiple different move, possibilities for moves, or is it like so sort of, the people that are just so genius with it can just sort of like see a board and be like, I would just do this because that's what you do when that happens. Like it's just sort of so automatic and formulaic at that point.
Yeah, I feel like, obviously the better you are, the more it's based on study that you've already done, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like, I've encountered this position, you usually go here. But yeah, with people like me, people who don't really have much experience, it's more just like, a lot of times it's definitely the worst. It's one of the worst moves you can make, because it's like you hang a piece, and so I think the better you are, the more you're able to like preserve your advantage, the less likely you are to completely hang a piece. But also the more likely you are to understand what's going on in the position, even at that quick rate, that generally what your strategy is, where you have to go, how to trap pieces, etc.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
But it's really weird because it's like it makes you worse. It because like playing that quickly means you're relying on pure instinct,
Right.
which means you're not really putting a lot of thought into the game, which is usually generally worse for actually training, right? Like
Right.
needing to do it at that hyper quick level means you're relying on instinct and you're not really yeah, it's not as beneficial for your gameplay as
Like
studying.
sprinting to train for a marathon. No, not really. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it
it's a
is.
bad
No,
analogy.
no, it's yeah.
It sounds nice though. But no, I can definitely understand that. You think it's fun at that point? Like, is it fun to have to go that quickly with anything?
I think it can be fun in like like a fun setting. If the setting's already fun,
Mm,
then it's usually fun. But it's like
yeah,
if
if
it's
it's like a
me
chess
in the
party.
morning and I'm trying to study, like I'm not I'm not gonna just pull up a bullet game and
Yeah.
just sweat by myself. It's like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
But like if you're at a party, like I feel like that's one of the only party skills that I have is just being able to do bullet chess
Yeah.
and make moves on bullet chess. That's like one of
Yeah.
the and in that setting it could be fun where it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? It's like, oh, watch me lose. Isn't that more
But
fun?
I'll lose quickly,
I'll
so
lose so fast.
so yeah.
We'll be back here in 30
You're gonna be
seconds.
amazed how quickly I lose. That's cool though. How's the tutoring going with that?
Like just regular tutoring?
They're the chess tutoring.
Are you
Is
talking
that
about
not
my
a thing?
secret tutoring? I'm doing like a Mr. Miyagi thing with this little boy. He's gonna kill you. No, yeah, it's going well.
That's good.
This past week was lighter, which was nice. It was nice to have more of a relaxing week. Next week is going to be more intense, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm one of the. I think my price point. Not gonna give away my price point. No, no,
No,
no.
no.
I reserve the right to change my rates. I will not put online. Yeah, at my price point, and the fact that it's online, it's more of a revolving door than like people who like teach in person or charge more. It's usually like you want a couple like a good school of people that you just have every week, right?
Yeah.
But now I have like I'm like people are requesting, hey, you are free at this time. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, right? And then some people change times, and then I also cancel sometimes. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's more flexible, and it's I don't know, it makes scheduling a headache, but that's why I have assistant Jimmy, who's gonna kill you.
Jimmy.
Murder,
gonna
murder,
kill
murder,
you.
murder.
That was so good. I was when I was watching that. I know nobody's gonna know what we're talking about right now.
I'll release it today. I'll release it
okay.
today.
Then
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that
why
case,
not?
everybody's gonna know. No, I was watching that, and I really was. I thought my phone was broken at first because it was just me saying that over and over again. It's good stuff.
Classic.
Have you found there's a noticeable difference between teaching chess and teaching like math? Is
I
there
haven't taught anyone chess yet. I want
Oh,
I
okay.
want to, but
Okay.
I don't think I'm actually probably not good enough yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably good enough to teach people like basic strategy and moves,
Oh, boys.
but like people aren't looking for tutoring for like the most basic way. I mean, they might be, but they're not going to come to me,
Yeah, there are other
yet.
classes.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's the mustache, Mustache screams, I know
Mustache
basic
plus
chess.
My price point cannot be beaten.
The book,
Dominating the market with my mustache.
the graphic novel.
Yeah, the graphic novel. That's cool though. There he is. There's our guy.
What about you? Any kung fu chess style revelations?
No.
Oh,
Oh, no. No, I'm good. I don't know. I'm trying to think of stuff. I
How are classes?
They're fine.
What's been going on? What have you been
It's
talking about?
all good. Okay, so here, has very little to do with classes.
Wait, can I just recreate what you just did?
Yeah.
You were like,
I think I have been doing that more in classes when I've been trying to talk, and I'm like, here, no, never mind. Just go to somebody else, please.
I realize I suck. I want this over.
Yeah, sorry, I need to leave. Okay, so philosophical quandary. So there's this, what I've heard people say, what I've heard my philosophy professor say is, we're focusing on like finding truth. Like that's what they want to do is find the truth. And like, all right, it's great.
You checked under your couch, idiot.
um, and what I've been thinking recently, my theory that I'm just going to throw out, and then I'll sort of try and back it up after that, is when it comes to areas where it is ostensibly like impossible to actually know the truth about something,
Mm-hmm.
the pursuit of truth is not important. What is important is finding and then adopting the ideas, beliefs, perspectives, attitudes, and therefore behaviors that give you the best results. So examples, the big one for me is with spirituality. Like that's a thing where, I don't think there's any way that I'm ever going to know for sure if there's a God or not. Like that's not a thing that I'm going to know. So
don't sell yourself short there,
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty smart. So no,
you don't get to it first, but your mom does. You're like, oh,
yeah, damn it.
Outshined again.
But that was an idea where it's like, yeah, like there's no point in me debating whether or not I'm right in my spiritual beliefs. Like, and when I say right, I mean if my spiritual beliefs match with fact, because there's no way I'm going to actually find that fact.
Mm-hmm.
And so the point then is, what are the attitudes, beliefs, ideas that I can use that lead to the best behaviors and or just general results in my life? And I think that's certainly what I've found in the past year and a half or so now, that like when I actually do, when I try different actions, when I exchange old ideas that don't work for new ideas that do work, regardless of whether or not I think they're founded on like a plausible base theory, I just get better results. I'm just happier. And that's sort of all that has been mattering to me.
I feel like this kind of ties in back to what we were talking about last week, where it's like you sort of create your own reality, the reality that you exist within, and the truth that exists mainly to you. That's not like things can be true to you that aren't fact, right? You waking up, whatever, something about sleep, like that can be very true to you, but it doesn't have to be a necessary fact for people. So I feel like, and unfortunately, there's no manual for the reality in which you exist. So you have to sort of create your own manual for all the things that aren't objectively good. So it's just like trying things out.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important point, that with, if we accept that, we can adopt those beliefs that just work well for us, whether or not they're based in knowledge of truth. I think a really important qualification is that we have to remain open-minded, because not only does our reality change, but like we change, like we'll continue to change, and we should remain open to, at one point, if I think, yes, this is exactly the belief system that works for me, at some point as I continue to develop something else, I might have to tweak it a little bit or completely replace it. Who knows?
Mhm.
But I think open-mindedness is definitely a really important part of that.
Yeah, and I think also intuition about yourself, like making sure to listen to whether or not you do like something,
Mm,
um, is, yeah, I feel like is something that isn't really uh, rewarded necessarily, or something that's not as championed in our modern society, because in a lot of cases it doesn't matter how you feel about something. You
right.
usually, you're either on the path, you're like, I gotta do it, I gotta do this, people are telling me to do this, and so your intuitive feelings about whether or not you want to do something aren't aren't viewed with the same importance that I think they necessarily should be. Like your body telling you you're tired, it's like, let's go, come on.
Yeah.
I know you have that paper due, but it's not worth a trip to the hospital because you accidentally fall asleep making pancakes, you know? It's
We've all
like,
been there.
we've all, literally every single person
Literally
has been
everybody has been.
there. um
Yeah.
so
No,
yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. I think the experimentation, open-mindedness, and intuition, and like tapping into that intuition about yourself and what those results are based on the experiments,
Mhm.
and rather than what you think the results should be based on
Mhm.
what society tells you, it's all a good formula.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I think is one of the main driving forces in my life, is like the art of being me. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
perfecting what I perfecting living with what this current form of me likes and wants.
yeah.
Um, and so yeah, just like listening to myself, being like, all right, if I want this, I want this, I want this, then let's try it, let's do this, let's do this. So I don't know, it's interesting, it's for
It
sure
is.
interesting. So
It is.
that's so truth.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Truth, it's all right.
Follow the
Uh,
money.
yeah, my money works for me. Uh, I saw that, and it doesn't matter. So yeah, so the reason I bring this up is because
Mhm.
I think I had one of those experiences yesterday where I realized I maybe needed to sort of tweak some of my belief system,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I don't think this is going to be a problem. I was like talking to my therapist yesterday. I don't think that's gonna like. I think everybody's fine knowing that.
Mhm.
Um, I and I was talking. I've been talking to him a little bit about my sugar intake because if anybody who
Topic
knows
number
me,
one.
yeah, anybody who knows me, big sweet tooth over here. One of my teeth is big, and it tastes sweet. Um,
I just, sorry, I was thinking about something. I got it. Don't worry.
okay, I'm glad. Uh, and so, I think there's sort of a few different parts to this. The first is that I had really sort of placed it in the category of this seems as much of an addiction, or it seems like as much of an addiction as anything. Like I felt like I had very little like willpower when it came to my eating ice cream, let's say. Not let's say, that's absolutely what it is. It's ice cream. I like ice cream. And I so I was talking to my therapist yesterday, and um I was talking about this, and he kept it was nice because we sort of like drilled down to some of my core beliefs, because he was like, when we figured out that like when I place it into that, when I label it as an addiction,
Mhm.
I'm I'm pretty much giving up the idea that I have any element, or not element, any degree of choice when it comes to eating. And so that led me thinking more about um, my beliefs just about like willpower in general. not about will.
Yeah.
Uh, but so I, for a little while now, I think like, I don't know, a little while, have really, I think, believed in like free will skepticism. And this is an idea that I think I adopted because, not adopted, I endorsed because of uh, for the sort of the same reasons that I was talking about earlier, that it wasn't necessarily that I think that this is the truth, that, we don't have free will. I don't know, and I
Mhm.
don't know if I'm ever going to know. It's okay, it doesn't matter. But I think that it lends itself to a lot of good results, both in a sort of criminal justice side and also just on a personal virtue side. So for criminal justice, it lends itself a lot more to forgiveness and rehabilitation rather than punishment and, vengeance and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
Because you don't believe that anybody is inherently a bad person if they've done a bad action. And I think for me, it's a much easier way of separating the action from the person. And then on a personal level, it also helps for me to like to promote humility, because every time I accomplish something, I remember that like this was not just me. This wasn't me and I'm so great and I did this by my willpower alone. It's like there were a million yeah, exactly. Look at me. Now, there were like a million different things that allowed me to get to where I am or whatever. And again, that's also not to discount that like I still worked hard, but would I have the quality of working hard if I hadn't had the parents that I had? Like all of that sort of stuff. We can just trace it like all back. Like there's so many factors. So I can't just say I worked really hard, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, and now I've succeeded. And that's because of me and my choices, and I'm great.
You
So
had those clean H2O shirts. Like you
right.
clearly had
That's it. Yeah.
the power.
um, so that had been sort of, I think, a lot of the way that I had been thinking about things for a while. Um, and so, but I did find that I think I needed to tweak it a little bit. And number one, stop labeling my diet as like I have absolutely no willpower, no power of choice over it. But that that in its like that change in labeling necessarily sort of requires a small change in that belief system, that I do have some power of choice. And again, it's not that I have to sort of replace that entire belief system of free will skepticism, because that power of choice might again only come from a series of other factors which I have no idea about. But um, again, moving the scale a little bit more toward the I do have free will, and I am able to make my own decisions. Just again, not based on truth, not based on any new uh, actual information or data, but just on what beliefs will actually get me the best results.
Hmm. Interesting.
That's what I had yesterday.
Sort of to go off of that, um, I feel
Hold
like
it, Chess.
yeah.
Go.
15 seconds aside. I feel like, yeah, you had this whole broad argument. It's good.
No.
Um, I think I'm very much like you. If there's, oh my God, if there's a thing of Oreos in my house, like
Tell me
literally,
about it.
I'll be like, for 2 days, I'll be like, okay, just 2 or 3, and then
Yep.
on day 3, it's just
The
all.
classic. Yeah.
And I think to go back to I think to sort of blend the two, about free will being a part of it and how you have some responsibility, but also how your past and like everything that's been built around you is contributing to that. I think environmental control is something that's often overlooked in terms of making your habits better. It's like it's much easier to not eat ice cream when it's not in the house. I when I go to the store, the main thing of self-control that I have is not that I buy the Oreos and only eat one or two, because I know about me that that's going to be very hard to do. I just don't buy it at the store. And I think that sort of idea is very much related to the way that we were raised, where it's not that we didn't have the opportunities to do bad things to maybe make our life worse, right? Everyone has the opportunity to do something that maybe be more hedonistic and might lead your life into a less favorable path. But our environments were controlled so that the good things were rewarded and the bad things were punished. Right. And when we're on our own, we sort of have to design that for ourselves. We have to make it easier to do all the good things and much harder to do all the bad things. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of a combination of free will and not free will, where it's like you literally don't have the power to eat ice cream if it's not in your apartment, but you are the one who chooses not to buy it at the store. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's also a very interesting thing about free will versus not free will, where it's we are very much subject to our environment.
And I think that's a good point, and can unfortunately be extended sort of as a counterexample, that if we have an environment which not only makes it easier to act on, but like, makes a business model out of us acting on those addictions or cravings. I think, there's all the various services now. The GoPuff is the one that I use a lot here, that like, I can not buy ice cream at the store, but on a Thursday night, if I'm feeling a craving, I can just get it delivered to my door. And how much willpower, do I have not order it in the first place to get it in my house? And so it's all that sort of stuff, when it's all designed for me to keep up with that addiction. There's a reason that there's more and more and more sugar in things, is because sugar is so addictive, and that it's the same with like THC, fast food. Exactly. Like the
THC is also true.
THC, like how much they're putting in, like higher dosages, that's not what it is, higher amounts, more of it is going to make it more addictive. And so again, when the entire business model is based on creating an environment wherein it is so easy for me to act on that addiction, again, I shouldn't be labeling it as an addiction, but act on those instincts or those cravings or whatever it is, again, how much do I have control? How much has control been taken away from me?
Yeah, it sucks. When the industrial health complex exists, you have to make your own barriers, like it would be very nice if there were no delivery services, or the only delivery services were like kale, like like already pre-massaged kale. There's one thing that you can buy. And so, I mean, there's I could give you like 4 more things to make even GoPuff hard, just like download parent controls that only like Chance has the passcode to download GoPuff or something. And it's like, there's definitely ways to do it. But that's also like the cold turkey method, which I'm not sure if it's like I haven't done any research or have really any experience in that. You're probably
all of the Boonch boys. I've done no research. I have no experience.
Hey, welcome to my podcast.
let me tell you some facts that I have absolutely no experience with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's all just interesting. Also,
it's hard.
the phrase "cold turkey," we need to dissect that at some point. Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
Um,
Go cold turkey.
yeah,
That
yeah,
means you strip naked and you put yourself in cellophane plastic and you put yourself on a grocery
yeah.
store shelf
Really
in Thanksgiving.
freezing turkey. Yeah.
God,
Uh,
that would be a hilarious bit. We freeze you and put you in cellophane and then put you on on a turkey rack in a safe way.
that sounds like one of the, not that specifically, but that sounds like one of those things where it's like it couldn't have actually like there was a method that a bunch of like rehab and treatment centers used to try and use to like wean people off of alcohol, like detox them, called like hydrotherapy. They put them in this room and there's like 30 shower heads, and they would alternate, like one would be really cold and one would be hot and one would be cold, and then they would go around and they would just like spray you for like 30 minutes, and they're like, he's cured of alcoholism. And you're like, how is that an idea? Like, that's so crazy.
This
And I
one's
feel like
called cold and hot turkey.
right. So I feel like that could have been a thing. Maybe cold turkey really did come from some insane idea where someone's like, we're just gonna wrap you up and keep you in the freezer for a bit.
Maybe it's like the turkey is usually inside the barn, but he was bad and he kept eating all the food outside. Cold turkey.
Cold turkey.
The
It's
turkey's outside.
punishment.
He's cold.
Yeah.
Cold turkey. Good.
There we go.
That is good. Maybe my third theory was that it's like it was some French phrase, but it was pronounced cold turkey, and it means like once and for all or something. And somebody misheard it as cold turkey.
We're going to use that for the rest of history.
Yeah. Thank God we found the name.
Yeah, cold turkey.
It makes sense. Let's go with it.
No, that's good. Uh,
One more question that I must ask.
nice.
I didn't even have a question. I just needed to say it. My question is, what should I ask you right now? Do you have a question that you're dying to be asked?
Oof.
Do you have things that you, I think that's a good question. Is there something that you're dying to be asked?
That is a good question. Can I answer that question?
Yes, please.
By not having a question?
Sure.
I think that, can I answer that question with a question to you, not a question that I want to be asked? I would like to completely evade the question in more ways than one. Do you have that? I feel like we've talked about this before, that I'll have just sort of like fantasies where like people set me up perfectly for me to say exactly what I want to say, or something like people asking me exactly the right questions so that I can tell them the things that I want to say.
Hey, are you Freddie Mercury? No, but I'm Henry Drembus. Here's my thoughts on free will.
Do you have that?
Yeah, but not like specific things. And it's always just like, it's usually just like questions that are like, hey, what is this thing about this specific chess thing that I just learned? And it's more like demonstrating knowledge and wanting to share things like that, things that I've learned. It's not, it's like the classic, I'm reading a book in a public place and it's like, oh, do you like this? Oh.
Look at that cover. You're just like, you're trying to read it like this.
Yeah. It's just a huge book.
It's just a big picture of Wayne Brady on the thing.
The autobiography of Wayne Brady.
It's called Slouch Henry. I feel like there are benefits to it. Like, I feel like in a lot of ways I personally find it like unhealthy to stay in those
people are coming at our house.
It's allowed to stay in those mental states of like oh, I want all this attention on me, and I want, people to set me up so that I can look impressive and tell them about these things
Mhm.
I've learned. I feel like that's, part of that's unhealthy. But
Mhm.
I do think that there's a benefit in that it does often help me actually like collect my thoughts about a
Yeah,
subject
exactly.
when I imagine myself having to explain them coherently.
Mhm. I've been thinking about the idea of video logs recently as opposed to journaling.
Vlogs?
Vlogs, yeah,
Vlogs?
but not like publicly released. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like it's an audience of one,
Oh,
right?
that's interesting.
And
Yeah.
I'm much better at verbally collecting my thoughts and having ways of demonstrating what I'm thinking other than just writing it. I found that writing usually takes a lot of time, and my thoughts are usually outpacing my typing speed. So it's a very weird world that we're living in. We're now able to perform in so many different ways, but we have to ask ourselves. We must ask ourselves: is it too much? It's
Is
classic.
it too much indeed?
All right. Well,
yeah, that's probably enough.
it's been an hour. That's probably enough. That's so
end
classic.
the charade for the day.
That's probably enough. Oh my god. It's like we're tranquilizing an elephant. That's probably enough.
He's probably out.
He's probably yeah. Well, yeah, one per ton. Okay. All right. Well, this was fun. This was
Indeed.
fun. We have
always.
plans in the future for other guests. You don't know who it is. It's not a professor for sure.
No, let me tell you that for sure.
Let me be very clear. It's not one professor. All right. We'll say. Oh wait, what have you learned
from today?
Recap. Yeah. What's a recap?
I mean, I learned that that Wii bowling thing.
Boonch, Montana. Boonch, Montana. Boonch, Montana. First time on the track.